This one feels big. This one honestly feels massive. There feels like it's a bit more something personal to this one. I can't really put my finger on it, but it just feels like this one has something bigger about it. South Africa versus Ireland this weekend. This is the big game of the weekend. This is the game people want to watch this weekend. This is going to be an incredible match. I cannot wait. I have no idea what the result's going to be, but I'm going to give you some predictions. We're going to react to some of the team selections, and we're going to do a bit of a combined 23. So we're going to see which 23 players from each team would make my combined team. No bias at all. It's a beautiful morning here. Let me show you guys where I am. In Mossel Bay. Stunning, yeah. It's absolutely beautiful. We got an Airbnb here for the night, so we are on the way to the Eastern Cape. Going to do a safari there. So we've just stopped over here, stopping over somewhere else tonight, and then tomorrow we're doing our safari, and then we're heading back to England. Sure, guys, massive game this weekend. The teams are both looking extremely strong. Ireland gone for a very strong team with some interesting selections, which I wasn't surprised about, to be honest. I mean, they've gone for the likes of Porter, Sheehan, Furlong in the front row, with Kelleher, McCarthy, and Beelum on the bench. That's probably one of their strongest front rows this year, and they're one of the strongest bench front rows. I mean, you can't go wrong with that starting front row of Porter, Sheehan, and Furlong. They have been in tremendous form. Furlong's been looking good again recently compared to a recent dip in form earlier on in the year and maybe last year, but he's looking good again. Andrew Porter, we know what he can do. He's very good. I mean, these guys have beaten the Springboks before. They know how to beat the Springboks, so it's going to be an amazing game, guys. I mean, these guys know how to beat the number one team in the world. They've done it multiple times. They've beaten the All Blacks. They've beaten the Springboks. They've beaten everyone. So they are a good team. They are an incredible team. Then we have James Ryan and Ty Byrne, two incredible lock forwards, both getting around the park very well. Massive work rate, massive engine. Then you got Ryan Baird, Josh van der Vliet, and Caden Dorris. Probably their strongest loose trio so far this year. Probably their strongest loose trio so far in this autumn Quilter Nation series. Ryan Baird, incredible player. Josh van der Vliet, an ex-World Player of the Year. Been looking to try get that same form back. Hasn't really managed to, especially not being able to play in all of the test matches for the Lions this year. But he's an absolutely world-class player, and he's won World Player of the Year, so well-deserved as well. Caden Dorris, probably their go-to loose forward and their captain. He is a big-time player. He's just come back from an injury, and he's going to look to make a statement against the Springboks this weekend. Here's where it gets interesting. Number 9, Jamison Gibson Park. We knew that was going to happen. He is one of the best scrum-offs in the world. So talented. Every time he plays, it's just wonderful to watch. Even when he plays against Springboks, I just watch him and I'm like, wow, this guy is really good. He can do everything. He is one of the best scrum-offs in the world right now. Definitely top 5, top 3, definitely. Then Sam Prendergast at number 10. That's a very interesting selection. They obviously feel like last week it worked for them having him at 10. I saw he put in a big shot last week. Don't know how legal it was, but he put in a big shot, which will be good for his confidence. He just needs to get those big shots going and put his shoulder in a bit more. Then I think he'll be the starting 10 going forward if that's what he can do. Because on attack, he really pulls the strings well. He gives similar attacking vibe to Johnny Sexton. He tries to play in a similar way. I can see that when he was growing up, he was watching Sexton a lot, especially by just his mannerisms and the way he plays. But he's a great player. I mean, he struggled a few times in the Six Nations, but he's really trying to find that big performance. And I think the coach is giving him an opportunity now to put in a massive performance against the Springboks to really nail down that 10 jersey. Because between him and Jack Crowley, it's quite close, and I'm not really sure who's going to be the starter in the next World Cup. If I would choose one of them right now, I'd probably choose Jack Crowley to be the starter for the next World Cup, just because he is a big-time player, and he has proven it. He really has proven it. At number 11, James Lowe. Number 14, Tommy O'Brien. Bit of a no-brainer there. We knew that was going to happen. James Lowe, been playing in these big games for a while now, for years. Very big-time player. Hopefully he doesn't pick up Etzebeth like he did last time again. He is a monster of a winger. He's a big wing, and he has a very underrated kicking game. Well, for me, it's not underrated. I think he has one of the best kicking games in the world, out of a wing or a fullback or anyone. He is a very world-class kicker. And then Tommy O'Brien on the other side, incredibly good player. I mean, those guys are both a threat in the air as well. So it's going to be an interesting contest in the air this week. Number 12, Bundi Aki, and number 13, Gary Ringrose. As an Ireland fan, I'd be happy to see Bundi Aki back. I mean, he's a guy that every time he plays, you know he's going to put his body on the line. He's a big guy. And I think out of every centre in world rugby now, he's probably the one guy that I think not can match, but the one guy I think is a good matchup for Dale Lindy. Like, those two are going to have a very good match against each other this weekend. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how those two go up against each other. Gary Ringrose at 13. Those two have been playing together for a while now, so they know each other. They can just slot in. They have a lot of cohesion. So that's stock standard for them. I think that's a good centre pair that they could have chosen this week. Obviously, with the injury to one of the other centres, Bundi Aki, they'll be happy to have him back. Number 15, Mac Hansen, coming off a massive game as the best Australian on the field last week. He was huge. I really enjoy watching Mac Hansen play. I always watch him play for Connacht, and I think he's outstanding. It's going to be interesting to see how he plays at fullback this weekend against I would say a better team than the Wallabies, the Springboks. I mean, right now especially, looking more cohesive, everything looking better, all systems working for them. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes for him. He's a great player though, and I think he'll handle his own. He's a great player. On the bench we said Ronan Kelleher, Paddy McCarthy, Finlay Beelum, and then Kian Prendergast and Jack Conan. Two very good players on the bench. Jack Conan will look to make a big impact. Normally a starter, played a few British and Irish Lions games as well, so I mean they've got firepower on the bench just as well as South Africa does. You have Craig Casey, Jack Crowley and Tom Farrell. Very, 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 very good bench for Ireland. This is what I said last week. I said last week in the game against Australia that the bench is going to be the difference for Ireland, and it has been. I mean, that is a very strong bench. You bring the likes of Craig Casey, who's a world-class scrum half on, Jack Crowley, who could even be the starting fly half and could be one of the best fly halves in Europe. He's incredible. And then Tom Farrell. I mean, that's a very, very solid bench right there. Now, if you go over to the Springboks, they have gone for Bowen Venter, Malcolm Marx, Thomas Tutoy, and then on the bench, Johan Grobler, Gerard Steenkamp, and Wilkelo. World class, the best available front row they have right now. They're going all big guns in for this one. Then you have Eben Etzebeth and Ruan Orkia 4 and 5. I knew Ruan Orkia was going to get the start. He has been the premier lock this year. I think Etzebeth's going to be wanting to have a big game this weekend. I think he's become a bit quiet in recent games. Don't know if it's just me that feels this way. I think we haven't seen the typical Etzebeth performances in a while. He's been good in the lineouts, he's been good under the high ball, but other than that, he's just going to try and make this game a bit more. He's going to try and impact this game a bit more the way the Etzebeth we know can. On the bench, you've got Erges Neyman, who is world class, going to be playing his 50th game in Ireland, his second home. Hopefully the fans cheer for him. Hopefully they still love him when he plays in the green jersey. But yeah, the Springbok locks this week, even with all the red cards and everything, I still believe that this would be the three locks they would choose. I still believe that this would be the three they would go to. Loose trio, number 6 you have Sia Khaleesi, 7 Peter Steph Tutoy, and 8 Jasper Visser. That is the Springboks' best loose trio by far. That is. Sia Khaleesi is going to be looking to make a big impact from the start. As I always say, Sia Khaleesi is the type of guy that can really set the tone early on. If you look carefully, he's always one of those guys making either a big hit or a big carry early on in the game, and it's important for him to do that because he really sets the tone. If you think about Pretoria game last year, how he ran over the centre from Ireland, I forgot his name now. When he ran over Ringrose, they stopped the game there. That really gave the Springboks some mental momentum going forward. And if you think about other games, I can think about England last year at Twickenham. He made that big hit on Ben Hill after the line-out and made that double hit with Jasper Visser on Mario Itoje, which really got the Springboks' physicality going and really got them on the front foot mentally as well as just physically. So he's going to be looking to do something like that this weekend again. Number 7, Peter Steph Tutoy. I think with a big game, Peter Steph Tutoy could possibly win World Player of the Year. Right now, I'd like to see Ox win it, but Peter Steph Tutoy with another big game could be the guy at number 1 again to win his third. Jasper Visser, a very important game for him. I think he changes the dynamic of this loose trio so much. He's been world class this year, and I think he is the one guy that they're going to be looking for to really bring them that go forward ball. At number 9, Kobus Reinach, and number 10, Sasha Feinberg and Ngoma Zulu. I think that is the number 9 and 10 now for the Springboks going forward for the starting lineup. Obviously, I think in the World Cup for other games, they might play some other people. So I just thought I saw a dolphin. Yesterday there was like 50 to like 100 dolphins. This place is so beautiful. We even saw a whale as well, I think. But yeah, there's so many dolphins here. It's incredible. Back to the rugby. Kobus Reinach and Sasha Feinberg and Ngoma Zulu. I think those two are the starting 9 and 10 now for South Africa. Sasha will be disappointed to not get nominated for World Player of the Year, but it's good. It can keep him a bit more grounded, and then next year he can really push for it. It's important that he has his best year in 2027 for the Springboks and just starts building and building and building towards that. Kobus Reinach's been fantastic this year. He's been outstanding. And I think those two together at the Stormers going forward will really build a lot of cohesion, and it'll be great for those two to play together as they already have a very good combination at the Springboks. At number 11 and number 14, we have Cheslin Colby and Kanan Moody replacing the injured Kurtley Orense. I know yesterday I said I don't know what happened to Kurtley Orense, but I've just got a confirmation that he is back in South Africa with an injury, or he could be with the team now, but he is injured. So Kanan Moody is the next guy up. I will say, I am quite surprised that it isn't Ethan Hooker, but Kanan Moody has really earned his spot in the team this weekend. I mean, every single time he's played this year, he's been the guy that it has been people saying, how is he not starting? How is he not in the main team? So it's good to see him there. Great under the high ball, very good physically. I'm going to be interested to see how he changes his mindset defensively from 13 to 14, because he's been defending quite well at 13, especially with his reads. It's going to be interesting to see how he adapts to that, but he's a great player and I think he'll adapt quite well. I mean, last week he beat Louis Liner on the outside like that. He just shows he wants to play. Number 12, Dale Lindy, 13, Creel, the stock standard centre pairing over the last few years. These guys have been playing together for a while now. They know each other, and I think it's going to be a cracker matchup for them against Bundi Aki and Gary Ringrose. That is going to be world class. Number 15, Damian Willemse, probably my favourite Springbok player this year. He has been outstanding, and I've just been waiting for him to have a season like this for a while now. I always enjoyed him playing flyer for the Springboks because he's always just so special with the ball in hand, but seeing him at fullback now, he's been incredible under the high ball. He's been physical, he's been getting the Springboks out of bad situations, his kicking game's been good. He's outstanding, and I honestly thought he could maybe be in line for World Player of the Year, but maybe next year if he keeps up this form. Then on the bench, the other guys I didn't mention, you have Kwagga Smith and Andre Esterhuizen. Now this is interesting because this means that it could be a 5-3 split or a 6-2 split with Esterhuizen there, so he could be playing centre or he could be playing loose forward, and he could play just as good at both. He's been so comfortable in the loose trio recently, and I think in a perfect world, they'll probably be looking to bring him on at loose forward, because I think they wouldn't want to bring off Dale Lindy early. But if something does happen in the centres, like Creel gets injured or Moody gets injured, they can just move one out. Creel to the wing, Dale Lindy to 13, and then obviously Esterhuizen to centre. Or vice versa, they can move everyone around on that back line. They can even move Willemse to 10 or to 12, and it's perfect. And then you have Kwagga Smith, who really played himself into the team last week, I believe. He had an incredible game from the bench last week. He was just on fire. He was not going down. He was not going down without a fight, and he was just world class. It's good to see him back. He really stamped his way back into the team. Then number 9 and number 10 on the bench for number 22 and number 23, Grant Williams and Manie Lebok. I like how Rassie has kept those two together this year, really driving those combinations this year and getting people comfortable together, which I like to see, because those two have really been good at closing games for the Springboks and even changing games. If you think about Argentina and Durban, if you think about Wellington All Blacks, those two really came on and made big impacts. I mean, Grant Williams has been scoring tries for fun almost. He's been outstanding, and he's changed his game for the better this year, especially with his box kicks looking world class, and it's good to see those two come off the bench. They could also be starters. I know a lot of people are saying Andre Pollard should play this game, but I think it's good to keep those guys playing in the big game so that they know how it feels like going forward. Remember, Manie Lebok in the last World Cup didn't really play that much in the big games or have that much of a role in the big games. He was just our guy on attack. We wanted to get the attack going. Now he has his role. He's a finisher. He has incredible kicks for the line, except for sometimes when he tries to go for the 5 and maybe kicks it out on the full, but he is the best guy kicking for the line for us. So on this late game penalties, especially when you're driving for the line, you could be behind. He's the guy that always puts us in the 5 metre close to the try line. So it's important to have a guy like that in the team and to give them confidence, because he does change the attack every single time he plays, but he also has his moments, but the coaches are playing him that much consistently so that he can fix those things going forward, because every time he's played this year, he's been good. If you had to think about an average score for him, he's probably been a 7 or 8 out of 10 throughout the whole season. So it's good to see Manie Lebok in there as well. I'll always support Manie Lebok. I think he's a great player. I think all our fly-offs are great players, and all of them can slot in and have a great game. Alright, now let's choose a combined 23. If I was to choose a combined 23, just based on form this year, I would go number 1, Andrew Porter over Bowen Venter. Number 2, this is where it gets tight. Number 2, I would choose Malcolm Marx, just because he's nominated for World Player of the Year in his recent form. He's been a game changer. At number 3, Thomas du Toit or Tide Furlong. Now this is where I could look biased, but I'm going to choose Thomas du Toit. I'm going to choose Thomas du Toit in his form this year. I think Tide Furlong isn't exactly the same player he was. He is an amazing player, and trust me, guys, I remember that game in 2016 against the All Blacks, how monumental he was, and he's been incredible since. But I'm going to go Thomas du Toit just for his work rate around the park. At number 4, I'm going to go with... So I'm going to change up the locks a bit. At number 4, I'm going to go Tide Burn, just based on form recently. And then number 5, I'm going to go Ruan Nokia. I think Tide Burn has been incredible this year. He's been absolutely incredible. And I think Ruan Nokia has been the lock for South Africa. He's been outstanding. At number 6, I'm going to go for... you see, now it's Ryan Baird. Oh wait, no, they flipped the numbers over. So at number 6, South Africa terms, number 7, Europe terms, I'm going to go Josh van der Fleer. Number 7, I'm going to go Peter Steph Toy. Number 6 in the UK, or in Europe. And then number 8, I'm going to go Jasper Wiese. So that is a world-class loose trio. Wow. At number 9, I'm going to go Jameson Gibson Park. I think he just gets it by a little bit. At number 10, I'm going to go Sasha Feinberg and Ngomazulu. That's quite a no-brainer for me right now. At number 11, I am going to go Cheslin Colby. At number 14, I am going to go Kanan Moody, just because I think Kanan Moody just takes it over the likes of Tommy Freeman. I think he just takes it there. I have to go with the Springbok centre pairing. Just judging by how the cohesion and how well they play together, winning a few World Cups and being outstanding together. If this was a few years ago, I would be choosing Bundi Aki and Gary Ringrose over Dale Indy and Creel. But just recent form, you got to go with Dale Indy and Creel. But see, the thing is, Bundi Aki and Gary Ringrose are so good and have played so well together that you can slot them in, and they could have a massive game this weekend. They're going to be looking to have a big game to keep that centre pairing together. At fullback, I'll go Damian Willemse as well over Mac Hansen. I know it looks like a lot of Springbok players, but I'm just thinking on a one-to-one basis who I would pick based on recent form. I would go Damian Willemse. I mean, he has been the talk of the town. He's been incredible. At number 16, I'll go Ronan Kelleher, definitely. At number 17, At number 17 and 18, I'll go Gerard Steenkamp and Volkelo. I think I've got to go for those there. You got to. They've been world class. I mean, Gerard Steenkamp's been a game changer in the scrums. Volkelo, we know what he can do. I mean, I thought he was the best prop in the world this year. Obviously, Oxenchair, but then Volkelo I thought was second. At number 19, I'm going to go for Erge Snyman. Yeah, at number 19, I'll go for Erge Snyman. For number 20, I'll go Kwagga Smith. And I'll keep it as 6-2 split. And for number 21, I'll go Jack Conan. I just think if you have to put him and Esthuizen against each other as loose forwards, then probably I'd have to go Jack Conan right now. At number 22, I'm going to go Grant Williams. At number 23, just for the sake of this, for number 23, I'm going to go Jack Crowley. I think it's very tight between him and Manie Lebok, so because it's a 50-50, I'm going to give it to the Irish guy to make it look a bit better. But y'all guys, that's my combined team. I think it's very, very, very close. A lot of those decisions I was like in two minds. Most of the decisions I was in two minds. I think the only ones where I was really like, okay, definitely this guy, was for Peter Steph Toy, Sasha Feinberg and Ngomazulu, and Colby and Willemse. Those were the guys I was absolutely like, yeah, these guys have to be in the position. Otherwise, it's just been so close. That just shows how close this game is going to be. It's going to be an extremely close game. You've got the world number 1 going against an island, looking to revitalize themselves, looking to have a big year, looking to have a big start to their campaign. With incredible players, guys coming back from injuries, looking to put in big performances to keep their jerseys. 2 fly-offs going for the same jersey, both young from Ireland. It's going to be exciting to see how they play. It's going to be incredible. And then you have the likes of the Springbok guys, Nortje, really looking to take that number 5 jersey for himself. You have Jasper Wiese, really looking to make a big impact. He just wants to beat Ireland. A lot of these Springbok players haven't beaten Ireland. Obviously, we're talking about Pretoria, but some of them didn't play. I mean, in Ireland, South Africa hasn't won since, was it 2012 or 2014? South Africa hasn't won in Dublin. So this is a bit of a kryptonite for South Africa. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. But me personally, as a prediction, I think that South Africa will win it by 3 points. Either 3 points or less. It's going to be a close game in my opinion. I think Ireland in Dublin is a different beast. I mean, it's hard to beat them when everything goes their way. The crowd gets behind them. And I think South Africa this year, though, has a bit of a different team. They've got some incredible players. And I think South Africa by 3, but it's going to be a close game. It's going to be an epic game in Dublin, and I can't wait to watch, guys. But yeah, we'll be doing a player ratings afterwards and a bit of a review. So yeah, guys, please stay tuned. Please like and subscribe to help the channel grow. We'll see you next time. Cheers.